We have two topics. The first, our gardener Pat is going to talk about tips for ficus care. And so Pat?
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
It's okay, you can be the other. It doesn't have to be.
Okay, good.
That was just the start. Okay, well, this is just a quick overview of ficus. The traditional ficus that everybody is familiar with is very popular. It's one of the most popular house plants. Everybody's either had one, has one now, or be getting one soon in the future. They are tropical plants, so one thing that's critically important for their health is humidity, and especially in the winter when we close up all the windows and we're getting a lot of forced air. Spraying your plant or having it in an environment that offers a humid air is really in its best interest. And another thing about ficuses is that while they like a lot of light, they don't like direct light. They don't want to sit in the southern window and have the sun come in the afternoon. That will burn that side. It will cause leaf drop. And if that's the only place you have, just pull it back from the window so that it gets the reflection of the light, but not the direct light on the leaves. Again, being a tropical plant, ficus, all of the different types prefer warmer temperatures. So if you keep it outside during warmer weathers, make sure you bring it in. Once it gets, sometimes we get cold earlier or last longer than you might expect. And that will certainly cause some leaf drop and some damage to your nice plant there. And then when you water, it should be wet, moist at the top of the soil, but not wet all the way through. It needs moisture, but not wet. What that means is that maybe the top inch or so of soil should get wet while you're watering, and then the water can percolate down as it needs. Otherwise, you'll get root rot, or some other conditions that you can get from that. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, so a ficus is actually a kind of a difficult indoor plant. It looks nice. It's nice to have a tree inside, but it's actually one of the trickier ones. Some of them seem to thrive in like an office environment where they seem to get no love or whatever, but a lot of them do suffer. If they're too dry, they'll get leaf drop. If they're too wet, they'll get root rot. So you have to be careful in your watering regimen. In the winter, they don't need as much water, so you want to be sure to maybe cut back your routine by half and spray them more. They prefer their water as a mist at that time of year. If they're too far away from the light, they'll get tall and leggy like you see in this picture. They'll grow up, they won't get that nice shape, they won't look like the traditional ficus. You can also, pruning will help with that, but this one you can see is too far back, it's too leggy, and it's thin, it hasn't grown out. And then they are, when they're in a good environment, they're robust growers, so they will outgrow their pots. If you want it to grow big, you should think about once a year repotting it. If you don't want it to grow so fast and you don't have a 2-story atrium to support it, you would maybe want to just repot every other year, or just keep your eye on that, and pruning back the leaves and the foliage will allow it to stay in the pot a little bit longer. It'll be able to utilize the roots that are in there. And we can go to the next slide.
Okay.
And then the thing about ficus is there's a huge variety of ficus. While traditionally most people think of the Ficus benjamina, which is the traditional tree-shaped ficus. The rubber plant, also a ficus, has some of the similar care. They need humidity. They can take less light than a ficus. They also are they don't like too much water. You would think that it looks like it would take a lot of water, but they don't need as much as some other house plants. And then the fiddle leaf fig, a lot of people are familiar with that. That grows into a nice tree shape, which is the Ficus lerate. I think that's the correct pronunciation. It's also a tree type. It grows nice. To me, I've always thought it looked like an indoor oak tree, you know, sort of like a nice, but you do need to be cautious with the cold. And it can grow quite tall. It's a very striking plant. There's actually quite 30, 40, hundreds of varieties of ficus, but these are the ones you would primarily see at the nursery or wherever you are getting your plants. And so the main things are keep it humid and moist but not wet, and light but not direct sun. And then you should have a lot of success with your ficus. And that would be the end of Ficus Care. Are there any questions?
Thank you so much, Pat.
The last time I forgot to say was the end, so I just want to make sure.
Do we have any questions? No questions. I've had one of those Ficus benjaminus. We kept it forever.
Yeah.
And I finally just got tired of it.
I think a lot of people gift them on, you know, to people moving. They make excellent gifts if you're moving into a new place. Also, I would recommend not being afraid to prune it out. Just like an outdoor plant, pruning is healthy. It's like getting a haircut. It's good for it. It'll rejuvenate the growth. And I think a lot of people, especially on indoor plants, might be afraid of that. But I would, you know, don't be afraid. And plants do grow back just like hair. Most of the time.
Goodness.
I have one question. I have one.
Yes.
I have one right behind me here, and I take it outside in the summer and we prune it and stuff, but it always looks dry in the winter time, always. I don't know. I guess I got to give it some more than I do, but it's not dropping really.
Do you spray it?
I should. I'm going to start spraying it now that you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very susceptible to dry air, and I think it just dries those leaves right out. You get that brown leaf drop. Also, you know, they don't like being moved at all. They're very finicky. And as you move them in and out, they said it's normal to get some leaf drop as you bring them in and out, move them to a different room, to a different house. They really like, I would call it a very conservative plant. They just like to be where they are and they don't want any changes.